Hello everyone, this is Rudolph Wilkins with Forgotten Fitness, and today I will be discussing with you a really cool exercise variation called the Vince Gironda Frog Sit-up. Now I've been doing these for years, and it seems a lot of you are interested in it because I have had numerous requests to go over this exercise and explain it in more detail, so I'd love to do that for you. So in the next couple of slides I'll explain this exercise and why you may want to perform it. I will demonstrate it for you. And if you have any questions at all regarding it, let me know in the comment section and I'll make sure to help you out. Alright, and to start off this video, I will discuss this movement and why you may want to perform it. So it is worth noting before I go into details about this exercise that there are numerous variations of it out there, depending on the literature you look at. So depending on what Vince Gironda book you look at, there are differences in the hand placement, where your feet are placed, if your feet are crossed, or if they're pinched together. It is all different, but they all essentially do the same thing. So keep that in mind when you watch the rest of this video. I'm just going to be demonstrating a single variation here, but there are other variations out there. So it can be performed on either a bench or on the floor. If performed on a bench, it is preferred if you have a belt cinched around your waist to the bench itself, so that you don't have a tendency to lift your hips off the bench. Also, the bench needs to be very sturdy or you may tip over. Now, this exercise is designed to target and isolate your rectus abdominis muscles. Now, those are the center ab muscles, or the showy ab muscles if you were to flex in a mirror. It also, to a lesser degree, works your serratus muscles, but as mentioned, it is really designed specifically to target those showy abdominal muscles. And Vince Gironda in particular, he didn't like twisting abdominal exercises too much because he didn't want to overdevelop the obliques or even the serratus muscles. It was really the center abdominal muscles, and he wanted to make sure the waist was tight and trim. So this exercise in particular is designed to create a constant tension on the abs throughout the entire movement. It's not a sit-up. You're not sitting all the way up. You're doing about 1/4 of the normal range of motion you would do on a standard sit-up. And in Vince Gironda's mind, and in my opinion as well, this sit-up is really a worthless exercise. Only around that 1/4 of a range of motion do you get your abs really flexing. And a lot of people with a standard sit-up, they hurt their back, their tailbone gets injured, they might get tailbone pain, and they're really not working their abs much at all. So this is a much better variation. It's a lot like a crunch, really. But proper breathing is very, very important with this. I'll go into detail about it in a little bit, but it is very important. If you don't have proper breathing, you're really not benefiting as much as you can be with this exercise. So another key thing with this exercise is on the descent when you're going back to the floor, it really can be used to help in the development of your abdominal vacuum. And a lot of people have been asking me about that, how to train your vacuum. Well, this is one of them. And I'll go into detail into that as well. But to start off, you want to begin by lying on the floor, strapping yourself to a bench as mentioned earlier, and you want to cross your feet under your body and place your hands behind your head. Then you will slightly arch your back prior to starting the exercise. This is a very key point and should not be neglected. To start the actual lift itself, you will flatten your lower back to the floor while simultaneously curling your torso upwards in a controlled manner. You also want to make sure to tuck your chin to your chest. You'll hold this top position only briefly, and you want to make sure that you do not sit up all the way. This is not a sit-up. It is more so an abdominal crunch that removes any possible leg assistance. And if you have a belt and you're strapped to a bench, there's literally nothing that is working in your body besides your rectus abdominal, your center abdominal muscles. Those are the only things working. So it is really a great abdominal isolation exercise. And to descend from this top position, you want to inhale and think about bringing your stomach to your spine. In other words, you're creating a vacuum. And even for beginners, I have found my friends who have wanted to know how to better develop their abdominal vacuum, a lot of the other vacuum exercises may be hard for them to get into or really get that nice deep stretch to really pull up their organs and get a nice vacuum. But this one in particular, because you're not really fighting against gravity here, in many ways it's actually assisting you. It's pulling you down, pulling your stomach down. It is a very easy exercise for beginners to really help develop their vacuum. So it's a great one if you're just starting out and you're wanting to get that classic cinched waist. And you want to always remember, this is something Vince Gironda mentions in The Wild Physique, in all of his books, in his Blueprint to a Bodybuilder, training your abs more will not develop visible abs. It just won't. In essence, actually, it'll be pointless. Your abs will get overtrained. They won't necessarily get overdeveloped, and they definitely won't be visible. The only things that'll make your abs more visible is proper diet, possibly cardio, keeping your calories lower, and losing weight. If you have too much body fat, you will never see your abs. This is a younger photo of Vince, but as you've all seen in his later years, he got a very much a shredded midsection. And it's not so much his abdominal muscles grew anymore since this photo was taken. Instead, it was he got in very good condition, lost a lot of body fat, and refined his muscular development and learned how to pose. Those are what really had his abs popping. But if you combine that with this exercise, you're definite to see results. So in the next slide, I will demonstrate the movement for you and explain it to you a little bit more in detail. As you can see here, I have assumed the proper position. My hands are behind my head. My feet are crossed. My hips are on the ground. My legs are on the ground. And I am tucking my chin to my chest while curling upwards using my rectus abdominal muscles, the center ab muscles. And as you can see, my abs are flexing. And I'm doing my best to suck my stomach back in at the very bottom. Can't really see it so much with the jacket, but I am indeed working on sucking my stomach in. And for a lot of people, if you're really working on training the vacuum, I am not so much right now because I'm bulking. But if you're working on really training your vacuum, you can cinch it in a lot more by elevating your back and arching your back a little bit and really sucking it in deep. And it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish here. Me, I am more so trying to really just tax my abdominal muscles because I'm working on getting a more showy midsection. So it just depends on your goal. And as mentioned previously, there are many variations of this exercise. This is not the only one. There are many more. It just depends on the literature you look at or the picture you look at, or what you read about, or who was in the gym at the time. If you're going off primary sources of athletes who trained in Vince's gym, it just depends. But this is the variation I like to do, and I found it to be very effective. It really cramps up the abdominal muscles very fast, and it's all about keeping that form really tight. Just don't be sloppy about it. Keep it slow. Give a little pause at the top, and man, this is a wonderful abdominal exercise. A lot of you have been wondering about it, and I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions regarding this exercise at all, let me know in the comment section and I'll do my best to help you out. And until next time, this is Forgotten Fitness signing out. Bye-bye. And that concludes this video. If you're interested in any more golden or silver era bodybuilding content, check out my Instagram at @officialforgottenfitness, and also consider supporting Vince's original nutrition company, NSP Nutrition. They make some of the best merchandise, supplements, and books on the market. You can use my code VINCE10 at checkout for an additional 10% off your purchase. And until next time, this is Forgotten Fitness signing out. Bye-bye.